The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the David Pakman Show. I'm David Pakman. We're back after our 9/11 10th anniversary show. Not that we really went anywhere for it. I guess it's just, we're not really back from anywhere, actually. It's just the next show.
Right.
Okay.
We're back on the air.
Yeah. In other words, this is the normal time we would be doing a show.
Nothing has changed.
Right. Let me backtrack, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing our regular show today. Nothing has changed. The Republican debate, MSNBC and Politico. This thing, Lewis, was riddled with nonsense. I mean, it's unbelievable what went on in this debate. It was eye-opening, and at the same time, I kind of felt bad for some of the candidates having a complete and total breakdown. I mean, literally looking as incompetent as we've known them to be for years now, really. I mean, it was no surprise to us, but I think to many people it was. I don't even know where to start with this. I think I want to start with Rick Perry. Because Rick Perry, the scariest thing about Rick Perry in this debate is that he actually looks like he could win. And he strikes me as appealing to the average uninformed voter in a similar way that George W. Bush was appealing to the average uninformed voter.
Right.
He has somewhat of a similar way of carrying himself, somewhat of a similar delivery. He was also throwing a ton of bizarre red meat out there. I mean, it was almost a contest to see who can say the most blindly neoconservative thing at the debate. And Rick Perry really just, I'm scared because he is completely incompetent in the exact same way George W. Bush was incompetent. And as we know, George W. Bush was the president for 8 years.
Right. He comes off as your average Joe, nice guy. You'd like to have a beer with him, right?
What's this about wanting to have a beer? It seems to come up constantly.
That's the barometer, I guess.
People wanted to have a beer with George W. Bush and
Obama.
Yeah. I guess people just really want to have a beer with them. I think, well, I don't even know where to start. Let's go first to the Ponzi scheme thing. This is Rick Perry talking about Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. And he took kind of a lot of heat for this because, well, a lot of people find it pretty offensive that he would say the system they are paying into is a Ponzi scheme because we've seen a lot of Ponzi schemes in the U.S. over the last few years. Mm-hmm. And here he is talking about that.
It is a Ponzi scheme to tell our kids that are 25 or 30 years old today, you're paying into a program that's going to be there. Anybody that's for the status quo with Social Security today is involved with a monstrous lie to our kids, and it's not right.
So he really does. If we look at the image of him, of this still image of where I have the screen stilled, that's a look reminiscent of the looks George W. Bush had on his face. This kind of weird confidence. At
the same time, George Bush looked confused a lot of the time.
Yeah,
I guess not so much on the campaign trail.
No, you're right. You're right. There's just something about this guy's demeanor that really reminds me of George W. Bush.
Maybe it's a Texas thing.
Maybe it is. I don't like it one bit.